Could a simple penny from 1969 be worth a fortune today? You might be holding on to a small treasure without even knowing it. Yes, we're talking about the iconic 1969 1-cent Liberty Lincoln penny, a coin that millions of people walk past every day, but collectors would pay hundreds or even thousands of dollars to own, especially if it's the rare variety. So buckle up as we dive deep into the amazing history, secrets, and value of this incredible coin. Let's uncover the hidden fortune that might be sitting in your pocket. Welcome back to the channel, where we explore hidden treasures, rare coins, and the stories they carry. If you're a coin collector, history lover, or just someone curious about rare money, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell because today's video is one you don't want to miss. Chapter number 1: History of the 1969 1-cent Liberty Lincoln penny. The year was 1969, a time of transformation in the United States. The Vietnam War was in full swing, the Apollo 11 moon landing had just changed the course of human history, and here on Earth, the U.S. Mint continued producing the humble Lincoln penny, which had already been in circulation since 1909. The Lincoln cent, featuring the image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, was introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. But by 1969, something fascinating happened that would create one of the most desirable pennies in U.S. coin history. Chapter number 2: Design and Mint Marks. The 1969 Lincoln penny follows the same beloved design introduced by Victor D. Brenner. On the front, we see Lincoln's profile, the word Liberty to the left, the year 1969 to the right, and just beneath the date, a tiny letter or no letter at all indicating where the coin was minted. There are three types of 1969 pennies: 1969 Philadelphia, no mint mark; 1969 D Denver Mint; 1969 S San Francisco Mint, and here's the twist. One of these versions could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. Chapter number 3: The 1969 S Double Die Obverse, the Holy Grail. Among all the 1969 Lincoln pennies, the most valuable is the 1969 S Double Die Obverse. What does that mean? Let me explain. A double die error occurs during the minting process when the die that strikes the coin has a misalignment in its engraving. This causes the letters and numbers, especially Liberty and In God We Trust, to appear doubled. Only a very small number of these error coins were ever released into circulation before the Secret Service started confiscating them, thinking they were counterfeit. That makes them incredibly rare today. How rare? Well, one of these coins sold at auction for over $100,000. Yes, you heard that right, a penny worth more than a new luxury car. Chapter number 4: How to identify the valuable version. So how do you know if you have the rare 1969 S Double Die? Look closely at the coin under magnification. The word Liberty will appear clearly doubled. The phrase In God We Trust will show strong, obvious doubling. The date 1969 may also show doubling, but the lettering is the biggest clue. If you see these features and there's an S mint mark under the date, congratulations. You might have a treasure in your hands. Chapter number 5: What is it made of? The 1969 Lincoln penny is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, and it weighs about 3.11 grams. Because it's mostly copper, it even has melt value, though it's illegal to melt U.S. coins for their metal content. But the real value lies in its collectible status, especially for error coins or coins in uncirculated condition. Chapter number 6: Current market value. Is it worth money? Now here comes the exciting part. What's a 1969 Lincoln penny worth today? Let's break it down. A regular 1969 penny from Philadelphia with no mint mark, in circulated condition, is worth face value just 1 cent. But if it's in uncirculated or mint state condition, collectors may pay between 25 cents to $5 or more. A 1969 D penny Denver Mint in average condition is common and worth about 1 cent, but in mint state can sell for up to $10. A 1969 S penny, even without the doubling error, can fetch $2 to $25 depending on condition. But the 1969 S Double Die Obverse. These are the stars. Certified examples have sold for $150 to $500 for lower mint state grades, $5,000 to $15,000 for high grades. and over $100,000 for the finest known examples. So yes, some of these coins are absolutely worth a lot of money. Chapter number 7. Fun fact: how the government reacted. Here's a wild part of the story. When the 1969 double die coins first surfaced, the U.S. Secret Service actually seized and destroyed some, mistaking them for counterfeits. That's how rare and mysterious they seemed at first. Luckily, a few managed to survive, and today, they are considered one of the most important and valuable modern-era coins ever struck. Chapter number 8. Where can you sell it? If you think you have one of these rare pennies, don't just toss it into a jar or try to sell it on eBay right away. Here's what to do. 1. Use a magnifying glass to look for doubling. 2. Check the mint mark, it must be an S.3. Weigh the coin, it should weigh around 3.11 grams. 4. If it looks promising, send it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. 5. Then, you can list it on high-end auction platforms, or contact a coin dealer for a private sale. Collectors are willing to pay real money for verified examples. Chapter number 9. Final thoughts: could you be holding a fortune? So there you have it, folks, the 1969 1-cent Liberty Lincoln penny. A coin so common, yet so potentially valuable. Whether you're checking through pocket change, searching an old coin jar, or digging through a relative's collection, you might just stumble upon a gem worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. This tiny copper coin tells a story of American history, craftsmanship, and hidden value. And who knows? That ordinary penny you overlooked could be a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of America's most fascinating coins, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another treasure hunting adventure. Have you ever found a rare coin? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. More rare coins coming soon. Have you ever looked at an old penny and wondered, could this be worth a fortune? What if I told you that a 1971-cent Lincoln Liberty penny, yes, just a simple brown copper coin, could be hiding a value far beyond its humble face? Today, we're diving into the mysterious and valuable world of the 1970 Lincoln cent from the United States. Not only is this penny steeped in American history, but some rare varieties of this coin can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. That's right, one small cent could change your day, or even your year, if you know what to look for. So, don't go anywhere, because in this video, we're uncovering the hidden secrets, minting errors, collector demand, current market value, and everything else that makes the 1970 Liberty 1-cent coin a must-have for numismatists and casual collectors alike. Hey coin lovers! Welcome back to the channel, where we uncover the stories behind the coins in your pocket and show you which ones could be hiding serious value. Today, it's all about this beauty right here, the 1970 Lincoln 1-cent Liberty penny. It might look ordinary, but this coin is anything but boring. Let's start from the very beginning. Section 1. The history of the 1970 Lincoln cent. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, and since then, Lincoln's profile has graced the 1-cent coin for over a century. Fast forward to 1970, and the U.S. Mint produced millions of these coins during a time of cultural and political change in America. While many coins from this era were produced in high quantities, certain versions of the 1970 penny stand out for their rarity and value. The coin features the bust of Abraham Lincoln facing right, the word Liberty to the left, the date 1970 on the right, and under the date, possibly a small letter mint mark, either D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But what sets some 1970 pennies apart is not just the mint mark, but unique errors and specific variations that collectors go absolutely crazy for. Section 2. Rare varieties and valuable errors. Now, this is where things get really interesting. Let's talk about the 1970s small date versus the 1970s large date pennies. These two versions look similar at first glance, but if you look closely at the date, you'll notice subtle differences in how the numbers are shaped and aligned. Here's why this matters. The 1970s small date penny is far more rare, and if it's in great condition, especially uncirculated or proof, it can fetch hundreds to thousands of dollars. In fact, in top condition, A 1970s small date proof penny once sold at auction for over $3,000. Imagine that, a single penny, worth more than a month's rent, but there's more. Some 1970 pennies have doubling errors, officially known as double die obverse. That means the details on the front of the coin, like the letters in Liberty or the numbers in 1970, appear doubled under magnification. This error is incredibly rare, and when authenticated by professional graders, can increase the coin's value exponentially. So, if you have a 1970 penny, grab a magnifying glass and take a closer look. You just might be holding a treasure. Section 3. Current market value. What are 1970 pennies worth today? Let's talk money. For a regular 1970 Lincoln penny in circulated condition, it might be worth only around 3 cents to 15 cents, just a bit more than face value, mostly due to its copper content. But here's where things jump. 1970s small date in high grade. $100 to $500 plus 1970s small date proof penny. $500 to $3,000 1970 double die obverse. Up to $1,000 or more mint state MS65 or higher regular 1970 pennies can go for $5 to $20. Any coin with strong eye appeal, red coloration, or proof-like finish increases the value. As of now, the average collector's market value sits around 15 cents for common examples, but the moment you spot that rare variety, especially a small date S mint in pristine condition, the game changes entirely. Section 4. How to identify a valuable 1970 penny. So, how do you know if your 1970 penny is worth a small fortune? Here's a quick checklist. 1. Mint mark. Look for an S or D under the date. 2. Small date versus large date. Focus on the height and spacing of the numbers. 3. Check for doubling. Look at Liberty and the numbers under a magnifier. 4. Condition. Coins with no scratches, strong luster, and a red copper tone are the most desirable. 5. Proof versus business strike. Proof coins were made for collectors and are shinier, more detailed, and made in San Francisco. If you're unsure, send your coin to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. Their certification can skyrocket your coin's marketability. Section 5. Why collectors love the 1970 penny. Coin collectors, also known as numismatists, are drawn to the 1970 Lincoln penny for its historical context, its subtle but valuable variations, and the thrill of finding hidden gems in everyday change. It represents more than just 1 cent. It's a piece of Americana, a symbol of history, and in some cases, a miniature investment. In a hobby where details matter, the 1970 penny continues to surprise collectors year after year. Section 6. Selling your 1970 penny. If you've found a 1970 penny you think is rare, where do you sell it? eBay and Etsy are good places to test the waters. Join coin forums and Facebook collector groups. Visit a local coin shop or coin show. Submit it to a certified auction house if you believe you have something special. And remember, grading and authenticity make a huge difference in how much a buyer is willing to pay. Section 7. Keep looking. So the next time you get change from the store or find an old jar of coins in the attic, don't toss that penny aside. Take a second look. It might just be a 1970 Liberty Lincoln cent worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The beauty of coin collecting is that hidden treasures are everywhere, and the thrill of discovery is what keeps this hobby alive. Who knows? The next rare find could be in your own pocket right now. If you found this video helpful, educational, or just fascinating, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another coin video. Comment below if you have a 1970 penny or any other rare coin you want us to investigate next. We'd love to hear your stories and help you uncover their hidden value. Thanks for watching, and remember, every coin has a story. Yours could be worth a fortune. Hold on to your pennies, folks, because today we're diving deep into a coin that might just be sitting in your pocket, hiding in your jar, or tucked away in a forgotten drawer. That's right. We're talking about the 1975 1-cent Liberty Lincoln penny from the United States, a coin that many people overlook, but one that has a rich history, some fascinating secrets, and yes, potentially a lot more value than just 1 cent. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector, a casual hobbyist, or just someone curious about old coins, you're in for a treat. Because this little copper coin has not just changed its history, legacy, and possibly a hidden treasure. So hit that like button, subscribe if you love rare coins and amazing facts, and let's get started on the fascinating journey of the 1975 Lincoln penny. Segment 1. The origin and history. Let's rewind the clock all the way back to the year 1975. America was buzzing. The Vietnam War had just ended. The country was still feeling the ripples of the Watergate scandal. And economically, inflation was on the rise. But in the middle of all this, the United States Mint was busy striking one of its most iconic and long-standing coins, the Lincoln cent. Now, what's so special about this little copper penny? Well, the Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, and not just any person, but one of the most revered presidents in American history. By 1975, the Lincoln cent had already become a permanent fixture in American currency. But here's the twist: the 1975 version carries some very specific and intriguing details that make it especially interesting for collectors and history buffs alike. Segment 2. What does the 1975 penny look like? Let's take a close look at the design. On the obverse or front side, you'll find the famous profile of Abraham Lincoln. The words "I in God we trust" stretch across the top, with liberty to the left, and the date 1975 to the right. There is no mint mark if the coin was minted in Philadelphia. But if it was struck in Denver, you'll see a small D beneath the date. On the reverse, you'll see the beautiful Lincoln Memorial, introduced in 1959 to replace the wheat ears that were originally on the back of the penny. And if you look closely at the center of the memorial, you can actually see a tiny image of the seated Lincoln. Yes, even on a coin this small. At the top, it says United States of America, at the bottom 1 cent, and above the memorial, the powerful motto, E pluribus unum, which means out of many, one. Segment 3. Composition and changes. The 1975 Lincoln penny is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. This is important because just a few years later, in 1982, the U.S. Mint changed the composition of pennies to mostly zinc with a copper plating because copper was becoming too expensive. That means pennies like the 1975 version are made of real, solid copper, making them heavier, more durable, and even more valuable just for their metal content. Segment 4. Rarities, errors, and collectible versions. Now let's get to the juicy part. Can a 1975 penny actually be worth a lot of money? Absolutely. But not just any 1975 penny. You see, collectors are always looking for rare errors, high-grade coins, and special mint conditions. Some things to look for include doubled die errors. These are coins where the letters or numbers appear doubled, due to a misalignment in the die stamping. A 1975 Lincoln penny with a double die error on the obverse can be worth $50 to several $100s depending on its condition. Off-center strikes. If your 1975 penny is misaligned and part of the design is missing, it could fetch $100 or more. Die cracks or cuds. These are raised lines or blobs of metal caused by damaged minting tools, and error collectors love these. High-grade coins in mint state MS65 or better. These are coins that have never been circulated and show no signs of wear. If graded by PCGS or NGC, a top-quality 1975 penny can sell for $50 to $150 or more depending on market demand. And get this, a perfect MS67 red Lincoln penny from 1975 has sold for well over $1,000 at auction. So yes, it's not just about the coin, it's about its condition, rarity, and eye appeal. Segment 5. Current market value. So what's the current market value of the average 1975 penny? Well, circulated versions are typically worth 1 cent to 3 cents. Mostly because of their copper content. But if you have one in brilliant uncirculated condition, or better yet, one that's been professionally graded, the value goes up significantly. As of now, in 2025, the average price for a higher-end circulated 1975 Lincoln penny is around 15 cents to 25 cents. That's over 15 times its face value. And that's not counting the potential value of error coins or mint state specimens. Some can go for $100, $500, or even $1,000 plus depending on the condition and demand. Segment 6. How to check your penny.so? How can you tell if you have a valuable 1975 Lincoln penny? Point 1. Check the condition. Use a magnifying glass and look for scratches, shine, and sharpness in the design. Point 2. Look for errors. Doubling, cracks, or off-center strikes are gold mines. Point 3. Weigh the coin. A genuine 1975 penny should weigh around 3.11 grams if it's copper. Point 4. Consider getting it graded. If your penny looks especially pristine or unusual, sending it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC could reveal a hidden gem. Point 5. Compare recent sales. Check platforms like eBay, heritage auctions, or coin forums to see what similar coins are selling for right now. Segment 7. Final thoughts and call to action. The 1975 1-cent Liberty Lincoln penny is more than just a piece of loose change. It's a tiny time capsule from the mid-1970s, a copper relic from an era of change and challenge in American history. And yes, if you're lucky, it could be worth far more than 1 cent. So the next time you get a handful of change, don't just toss it aside. Check those dates, look closely for errors, and keep your eyes peeled. That old, forgotten penny might just be your lucky find. And if you enjoyed this video and learned something new today, please don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe for more rare coin videos. Share this video with your fellow collectors and coin enthusiasts. And drop a comment below telling us if you found a 1975 penny or what's the coolest coin in your collection. Thanks for watching, and remember, every coin has a story, and every pocket might hold a treasure. This is GZ Coins World, signing off. Keep collecting, keep exploring, and keep finding value in the smallest places. My dear fellows, now, in the next history of Liberty Lincoln, which is, we uncover the hidden treasures in your pocket change. Now we're diving into a truly fascinating coin, the 1982 1-cent Liberty Lincoln penny. This little copper beauty might seem ordinary, but its history, variations, and value could absolutely blow your mind. Some of these coins are worth far more than just 1 cent, and believe it or not, one rare variety could fetch you over $150 or more. So, stick around, you don't want to miss this. Part 1. A brief history of the Lincoln cent. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it replaced the Indian head cent and made history as the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's face. Over the years, the design evolved, but Lincoln's profile remained a powerful symbol of American heritage. Fast forward to 1982, a pivotal year for U.S. coinage. Due to rising copper prices, the U.S. Mint made a major change. Until that point, pennies were made mostly of copper. But in 1982, the Mint switched to a cheaper zinc core with a thin copper coating. This transition makes 1982 pennies incredibly unique, with both copper and zinc versions minted that year, and that's where things get exciting. Part 2. Why the 1982 D penny is special. Now let's focus on the 1982 D penny minted in Denver. The D mark under the year signifies its origin at the Denver Mint. But 1982 was no ordinary year. There were 7 different varieties of the Lincoln cent struck that year, yes. 7. These varieties include both large date and small date versions, in both copper and zinc compositions. Only the Philadelphia and Denver Mints struck them, and here's the kicker: the Denver Mint wasn't supposed to produce any copper small date pennies, but one was discovered. This mysterious coin became known as the 1982 D small date copper penny, and only a handful have been authenticated. It's so rare that one example was sold for over $18,000 at auction. That's right, from a single penny to thousands of dollars. How can you tell if you have a valuable 1982 D penny? Start by checking the weight. A copper penny weighs about 3.11 grams, while the zinc version is lighter at 2.5 grams. You'll need a precise digital scale to tell the difference. Next, compare the date size: large date versus small date. There are plenty of guides online showing the subtle differences in the number shapes. That's your treasure map. Part 3. Market value of the 1982 D penny. Okay, let's talk money, because that's what you're here for, right? Most 1982 D Lincoln cents are common, especially the large date zinc version. These are worth face value in circulation, but uncirculated or high-grade coins can fetch 10 cents to $1. However, Coins with full red color and perfect mint luster can sell for $5, $10, or even more to the right collector. Now here's the magic number. If you find a 1982D small date copper variety, not zinc, you could be holding a coin worth over $150 minimum, and possibly even thousands if it's in excellent condition or graded professionally. One was sold in a heritage auction for over $18,000 in MS-63 grade. That's the power of rarity combined with condition. Part 4. What to do if you think you have one. So what should you do if you think you've found one of these rare 1982D copper coins? First, weigh it. If it's around 3.11 grams, you may have something. Next, check the date. Is it a small date? If yes, don't clean the coin or try to improve it. That can actually decrease its value. Instead, take high-quality photos and consider sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication and certification. These services can verify the coin's variety and condition, and a certified coin will always get top dollar at auction or with collectors. Part 5. Fun facts and collector tips. Here are a few cool facts to impress your friends. The switch from copper to zinc in 1982 was done mid-year, creating one of the most complex coin issues in U.S. history. A full roll of uncirculated 1982D zinc pennies can sell for $10 to $20 if stored properly. Some era coins from 1982, such as off-center strikes or double dies, can be worth hundreds too. Always check both sides carefully. Even though the copper small date version from Denver is the most valuable, other 1982 variations are highly collectible due to the confusion and variety of that year. So the next time you come across a 1982D Lincoln penny, don't overlook it. What seems like a simple, everyday coin could be worth a small fortune. It pays literally to learn a little bit about coin history and to know what to look for. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a curious beginner, this is one of those coins that keeps the thrill of the hunt alive. Check your jars, your drawers, your piggy banks. Who knows? You might already have a $150 coin hiding in plain sight. And that's what makes coin collecting so exciting. If you found this video helpful or entertaining, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more awesome videos on rare coins, hidden treasures, and money you might already have in your pocket. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy collecting. My dear coin lovers, collectors, and treasure hunters. If you've ever found a shiny old penny in your change and wondered, is this worth anything, then this video is absolutely for you. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1995D Lincoln 1-cent Liberty penny. Yes, we're talking about the humble-looking coin that might be hiding in your drawers or piggy bank but could actually be worth far more than just 1 cent. Get ready, because what you're about to discover might change the way you look at pennies forever. We'll uncover this coin's hidden history, its rare minting secrets, the collectors who crave it, and the market prices that could make you richer than you think. So sit tight, grab your coin collection, and let's unlock the story behind the 1995D penny that's creating a buzz in the numismatic world. Let's start with the background. The Lincoln penny, officially known as the Lincoln cent, has been in circulation since 1909, introduced to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical person and not a symbolic figure. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it became an instant American icon. The reverse side originally featured 2 wheat ears. These are the famous wheat pennies. But by 1959, to mark Lincoln's 150th birthday, the U.S. Mint introduced a new reverse featuring the Lincoln Memorial designed by Frank Gasparo. This iconic design remained in use until 2008. The 1995D penny belongs to this generation of Lincoln Memorial cents. The D mint mark below the date indicates it was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the most productive coin mints in U.S. history. Over 7 billion 1995D pennies were minted, an astronomical number. So you may be thinking, if there are so many, why is it valuable? Well, here's where things get really interesting. Chapter number 1: Why the 1995D penny can be worth money. Even though the 1995D penny is technically common, certain versions and conditions of this coin are anything but ordinary. Collectors aren't just looking for any 1995D penny, they're on the hunt for mint condition coins, rare errors, double dies, off-center strikes, and uncirculated specimens. Let's break it down. 1. Mint state condition MS coins. If your 1995 D penny has never been circulated, no scratches, no fingerprints, sharp details, then you could be holding a coin graded as MS-65 or higher. These coins are highly sought after and can fetch prices far above face value. Some mint state 1995 D pennies have sold for $15 to $25 or even more depending on the buyer and market trends. Point 2. Rare error varieties. Here's where things get juicy. Coins with mint errors are like gold to collectors. These errors might include off-center strikes where part of the design is missing, double strikes, die cracks that look like lightning bolts across Lincoln's face, and the rarest of them all, double die obverse errors. While the famous 1995 Philadelphia penny has the popular double die variety, collectors have still discovered interesting anomalies in the 1995 D Denver batch. Coins with unique patterns, doubling on the lettering like Liberty, or In God We Trust, or any unusual marking could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, especially if authenticated by a top grading service. Point 3. Copper versus zinc composition. Here's a fun fact. Pennies minted after 1982 are mostly zinc with a thin copper coating. But some rare planchet errors occur when a coin is mistakenly struck on a copper blank. If a 1995 D penny were found with a 95% copper composition, it could be a major rarity. These are extremely rare and would require a metallurgical test, but if you find one, you're holding a gold mine. Chapter number 2: Market Value and Collector Demand. So what is the 1995 D penny worth today? While circulated examples may be worth just face value or a tiny bit more, uncirculated coins and error varieties tell a very different story. A basic 1995 D penny in average condition. Maybe 5 cents to 10 cents. In mint state condition, MS-65. Around $1 to $3. MS-67 and higher graded by PCGS or NGC. You could fetch $20 to $50 or more. Rare error coins. Potentially $100, $500, even over $1,000 depending on the type of error and its uniqueness. And here's the kicker: some 1995 D pennies have appeared in auctions selling for more than $146, especially if they combine rarity, a high grade, and certified authenticity. Chapter number 3: Tips for identifying value. Want to know if your 1995 D penny is worth anything? Here's what you do. 1. Inspect the coin under a magnifying glass. Look for any doubling in the letters or numbers. Pay close attention to Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and the date. Point 2. Check the coin's color and luster. A brilliant red shine usually means it's uncirculated. Point 3. Look for die cracks or off-center design. These can turn an ordinary penny into a collectible treasure. Point 4. Weigh the coin. If it's heavier than usual, it could have a rare composition. Point 5. Get it graded. If you think your coin might be valuable, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC for evaluation. Their certified slabs add serious value and credibility to your coin. Did you know the Lincoln penny is the longest-running coin design in U.S. history? More than 1.5 trillion Lincoln cents have been minted since 1909. The D mint mark stands for Denver, but there's also a P for Philadelphia and S for San Francisco. Each has its own unique minting story. So the next time you find a penny on the ground, don't pass it up. That 1995 D Lincoln penny in your change jar could be a hidden gem, a small copper-colored coin that holds a big secret and an even bigger price tag. Whether you're a beginner collector, a history buff, or someone just curious about coin values, this is your chance to dig deeper. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into coin collecting, rare finds, and surprising values. Hit the bell so you never miss a new treasure hunting episode. And if you've got a 1995 D penny of your own, tell us in the comments. Maybe we can help you identify a rare one. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and remember, every coin tells a story. And some stories are worth a whole lot more than just 1 cent. Great coin lovers and treasure hunters, now in the end of Liberty Lincoln history, we dive deep into the world of hidden gems, rare coins, and small cents that could be worth big dollars. And today, we're taking a closer look at a coin you might just have lying around in a jar, in your drawer, Or even in your wallet right now, the 2005 D. Lincoln 1-cent Liberty penny. That's right, this tiny copper coin from Denver might seem ordinary at first glance, but some versions of it are far from ordinary. Whether you're a collector, a reseller, or just someone who's curious if that 2005 penny in your pocket is secretly worth hundreds, this video is going to open your eyes to the real value of this little coin. So stick around till the very end, because I'm going to reveal what makes some 2005 D. Lincoln pennies worth over 140 times their face value and why coin collectors are scrambling to add this date to their collections. Part 1. History of the 2005 D. Lincoln penny. Let's rewind the clock a little and talk about how we got this coin in the first place. The Lincoln cent has been part of American history for over a century. First minted in 1909 to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, it replaced the Indian head cent and became the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait. Since then, it's been through a few design changes, but the core message of liberty and leadership has remained. Now, fast forward to 2005. The United States Mint in Denver was pumping out billions of these pennies, but not all of them were made equal. While the 2005 D. Lincoln penny isn't particularly rare based on mintage numbers alone, over 3.9 billion of these were struck. Some coins stand out due to errors, unique conditions, or collector demand ***. But before we get into the juicy stuff, let's talk about what the 2005 D penny actually looks like. Part 2. Coin design and composition. The obverse, or front of the coin, features a familiar face, Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner all the way back in 1909. It's the longest-running coin design in U.S. history, and it's still going strong. Just above Lincoln's head, we have the word liberty, a nod to the American ideals Lincoln stood for. To the right, the date reads 2005, and just underneath that, you'll find the D Mint mark, which stands for Denver. On the reverse, the back side, you'll see the iconic Lincoln Memorial. This design, created by Frank Gasparo, had been used since 1959 and would remain until 2008, just before the bicentennial redesign in 2009. Now for the materials. The 2005 D penny is made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. While it looks like a traditional copper penny, it's really a thin copper coating over a zinc core. These composition changes began in 1982 due to rising copper prices. Part 3. Value. Is your 2005 D penny worth more than 1 cent? Now, let's get into what you're really here for, the value. So what's the market value of a 2005 D Lincoln penny? In circulated condition, the ones you'll typically find in pocket change, most of these coins are worth about 1 cent. But here's where things get interesting. If your 2005 D penny is in uncirculated condition or has a unique error, it could be worth a lot more. In mint state grades MS65 and higher, a 2005 D Lincoln penny can sell for around 10 cents to 20 cents. That may not sound like much, but when you're talking about a coin that costs 1 cent to make, that's a 1,400% increase in value. That's not bad for something you might find in your change tray. Now, if your coin is graded and slabbed by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC and it's an MS67 or higher, the value jumps even more. Some of these coins have been auctioned off for $15 to $30 or more depending on the buyer and condition. But wait, it gets better. Part 4. Rare errors that make your coin more valuable. Let's talk about errors, the real moneymakers when it comes to coins like this. Some of the most valuable 2005 D Lincoln pennies are those with mint errors, and these can command high premiums on the collector's market. Here are some of the errors to look for. 1. Double die DDO or DDR. Some 2005 D pennies show doubling on the lettering, especially in Liberty, Indiana, God We Trust, or the date. These can sell for $20 to $100 plus depending on severity. Point 2. Off-center strike. If your coin was struck off-center even by a little, it could be worth $10 to $50 or more if the error is dramatic. Point 3. BI error. This is where a small die break appears between the letters B and E in Liberty, forming what looks like a tiny I. These quirky errors are popular among collectors. Point 4. Clipped planchets. If your penny has a piece missing from the edge due to a miscut planchet, that's another valuable error, often going for $25 or more. Point 5. Die cracks and cuds. Small raised lines or blobs on the coin where the die cracked during minting. Some collectors love these because they're unique like fingerprints.so. The next time you see a 2005D penny, don't just toss it aside, examine it carefully. You never know what treasure you might be holding. Part 5. Current market trends and collector interest. You're probably wondering, are people really buying these coins? Yes, and more than ever. The coin market has seen a huge boom in recent years, especially for low-grade rarities, era coins, and high mint state Lincoln cents. Collectors who are completing date and mint sets or hunting for errors are willing to pay good money for 2005D pennies in pristine condition or with unique features. Right now, the average uncirculated 2005D penny in MS65 is listed for about 14 cents, and some MS67 coins are being auctioned at $20, $35 depending on demand. And if you happen to find a true era coin, it could go for hundreds. Bonus tips for selling or collecting. Always inspect coins under a magnifier. Small details can mean big value. Use gloves when handling uncirculated coins to preserve their grade. Store coins in holders or flips to prevent scratches and environmental damage. If you're serious, get your coin graded by a professional service. This increases buyer trust and boosts resale value. Watch auctions on eBay and heritage auctions to stay up to date with prices. Is your 2005D penny a hidden gem.so? Is the 2005D Lincoln penny worth a fortune? Well, maybe not every single one. But some, especially those with mint errors or in top condition, are absolutely worth collecting and can bring in much more than just a single cent. In the world of coin collecting, knowledge is profit, and now you're armed with the facts to start checking your pennies with a sharper eye. If you've got a 2005D penny, don't ignore it. That small, copper-colored coin might just be your ticket to an exciting story, a proud moment in your collection, or a little extra money in your pocket. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe for more awesome coin content. Drop a comment below if you've got a 2005D penny or if you've ever found a valuable coin in your change. I'd love to hear your story. And remember, every penny counts, literally. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy hunting!